It's me and Dr. V. There's Dr. V. Here's me. We're rocking and rolling. I want to put one thing on the record so there's no questions as we go forward. We are an opinion couple. Two of us. We're doing full opinion. Not only do we do opinion is backed up by the facts that we put out there, and we try to make it entertaining so that it's entertaining, because what good is it if we're just sitting here like this saying, hey, this happened and that happened. We got to make it entertaining. We got to get into it. We got to get psyched. So that's what we are. We are an opinion site with a lot of facts, with all facts, really, and to entertain the people. I want to make sure everybody understands that, Joe, okay? Is that Spartacus in there already?
Let's see.
We got one person.
One person in there. No chat yet.
Good start. Okay, we just work our way up. Okay, you all saw what we're starting with here today. What is going on? To me, the question really is, what is going on with our president? And let's start talking about it. It comes down to, is Trump okay? And is America okay? Those are the questions I think we have to ask. We're going to go through some of this stuff as we go forward, okay? Let's look at Venezuela first and Maduro. Once again, as we said last time, in August of 2017, we put out two videos, or I did. I can't blame Joe on these. We put out two videos on Maduro and on Venezuela and said, please go on to Just an American Citizen and see it, and said the guy is a thug, a criminal, a murderer, horrible, absolutely horrible. So we were there 8-9 years ago. There's nothing new. So knocking him off, great. Bringing him in, who cares? He's going to act like a big guy, have a lot of hot air and do his thing. The problem is that we've got, what are we going to do from here? Now, I don't care that we killed 70 some odd people, or if we killed 100 or whatever. When you're going in, you got to do it right. You have to make sure that your people are not hurt. But what are we doing from here? Let's look at it first of all. He's letting the Chavistas run it. Who's Chavistas? Hugo Chavez was the guy who came in, changed everything, made it quote unquote communist. It turned into a dictatorship. But he came in, changed Venezuela, and had a big hand in taking over the oil and the oil wells and the oil system from the American corporations and the other corporations out there, of which I really don't care that much about, but it was wrong when it was done. Now we've gone in and we've taken out Maduro. But who do we leave in there? His vice president. And who's his vice president? A Chavista, a Hugo Chavez Chavista. And since then, all they've been doing is shooting people in the streets, making things tougher, and locking people up. They've been showing all this. Now, one can argue, Joe, that unlike Iraq, where we should have left people in charge, we're leaving these people in charge, okay? And by leaving them in charge, we're not breaking up the country into what Iraq became. The problem you've got with that is, what are you going to do when these people aren't listening to you? I mean, the vice president, who's now the quote-unquote president or whatever she is, you think she's all listening to Trump? She has her Cuban friends. She has her Chinese friends. She has her Russian friends. And she has all the thugs that are around her that are running the country that she's dealing with. And they'll do whatever Trump wants as long as Trump is giving him trouble. They'll give him all the oil he wants. We're going to get into that. They'll give him all the oil he wants. They'll give him all this stuff. Leave us alone, Donald Trump. Leave us alone. But at the same time, what are we doing? The country is in the same position it was. Understand, you have in their jails over 800 people who political prisoners. They haven't let out one political prisoner. Over 800, and they haven't let out one political prisoner. There's problems in the streets. They're jailing more people. And let me ask you this. We're taking the oil. Trump is taking the oil. I got a lot of questions about this. Where are the reports going to be that show that the oil was sold, how much we got for it, where that money is going, that it's not going into Trump's pocket, that it's not going into his family's pocket, that it's not going into his cronies' pocket. How do we know we got the right number? How do we know?
Did you hear Rubio today, though? He said the money's going to go back to help the people in Venezuela and to help Americans. And he had a 3-part plan. He said, give us a break. We're only there 4 days. We'll get to, we have to help stabilize things, and we'll figure out what's going to go on with the oil. Make sure Russia can't use Venezuela to bypass the usual channels to sell their oil, and then we're going to help set things up so that they'll have free and fair elections and get the right people in there.
Real simple. All we're doing right now is stealing their oil, Joe. What else are we
We're
doing?
managing it for them.
We're managing it for them, right? We're really managing. That's what I'm saying. A management company. Let's assume what a management company would do. A management company would be able to show us how much oil we're getting, where the oil is going, how fast it's being sold, who it's going to, who's getting paid, who's making the commissions, who's making the fees, but we're not going to see any of that. So the question becomes, who's going to take this $3 billion, about $3 billion of oil they're getting right now? How much of that's going into Trump's pocket? Is any of it going into Trump's pocket? Is any of it going into his cronies' pocket? Are they going to do the trading and the fees? And they need special traders, and they need this, and the kids will possibly be involved, and all this. Who knows? There will be no report. All we're going to hear is we're taking it. It's good for America. It's good for America. Like, we need oil, Joe. We don't need oil. We got all the oil we need. We got more than enough oil. Prices are down. We got the Permian. We got all these places. We don't need oil. We got plenty of oil. So we're taking this oil, and whose pocket is that money going to go? I got a real problem with this. I have to believe it's going where Trump wants it to go, which means normally a chunk of it's going into his pocket. That's what it means. His meaning his friends, his cronies, his family. When I say his, that's what I'm talking about with that. And they'll find a way to make fees and everything as they're walking through it. They have no plan. And this is what's going to happen. I said it last week. I'm going to say it again. There's going to be American blood, and there's going to be American treasure lost in Venezuela. What are we going to do? Take 10 years? You already have the oil companies yelling that Venezuela owns them. Exxon and ConocoPhillips, these are facts, are already yelling that they're owed billions of dollars, and they don't want to do anything until they get their billions of dollars. So when's the money going to go in? And let me ask you, you send in these oil workers, who's going to protect them? Right. Pause. Americans.
I hear you. It could turn out the way you're predicting.
It has almost every time. So I'm only going with history. History rhymes, Joe. Look, if you get lucky, you get lucky. But we're talking about a guy who just has no plan. Trump has no plan and just loves to take control of everything. It's my oil. I own the Western Hemisphere. I do what I want to do. We're going to break it all down as we see all this. But we're sitting in a situation where you can't trust them because everything ends up going into his family or friends or cronies' pockets. It doesn't help the country. It doesn't help the country at all. I'm waiting to see it. We don't need the oil. So here we are. We're like pirates. We're stealing the oil, and we got an emperor named Donald Trump, not a king, an emperor named Donald Trump, who loves to have his done row doctrine. But we have a different name for that. We call it the dumb bros doctrine, or the Dumbo doctrine. Dumbo is an elephant. Or the Dumbo, an elephants say dumb, but Dumbo is Dumbo. Or we have the Dumbo. I like the dumb bros. I think Joe likes the dumb bros doctrine better because that's what it is. When you go in and you want to take over a country, you don't say you're not. Of course we are. We're keeping the same people in power. Let me ask you, Joe, how are they going to get them out? I mean, yeah, we're keeping them in until we have free and fair elections. They already had a free and fair election. What was it, 8 months ago, a year ago? They lost. So I'm not saying we can go.
What I heard was you can't take away all the administration right now because they're, currently the ones who've been making decisions. But you have the government by the short hairs because if you control the oil, you control what they do.
How do you know what's going on? They could be moving things different ways. Are you stopping them? How about all these drugs he said was pumping through? How do we know we stop that? How do we know those avenues aren't going somewhere? I love it. America, we go in, we take out somebody, we're great at it. But then we never know what we're going to do afterwards.
No, you're right there. Yeah.
I mean, look, remember, Venezuela's got 30 million people. It's got forests, it's got mountains, it's got everything. How are we going to have troops there? How are we going to protect anything? You're going to have different groups that are going to start to take it over that may end up being like Libya, where this group runs this area and this group runs this area and they're fighting with each other. I can only go on history, my friend. History rhymes. And gosh, it's rhyming here because you don't go in and you just take it out because let's be honest, little Marco wants Cuba. So the whole reason we're in Venezuela for little Marco is to knock out Cuba. That'll be another place for us to run. But we have that. Let's go in because we have to look at at Trump's whole actions, everything he's doing. Venezuela, yeah, okay, Joe, I'll go with it. Little Marco's got it under control, and we have a plan, and we have everything. Let's ask the question again. Is Trump okay? Is America okay? Greenland. Greenland. Now, he wants to take over Greenland. Little Marco says it's going to be a buyout. Yeah, it's going to be a buyout. Who are we buying it from? Greenland has already has some autonomy from Denmark. Denmark can't sell it. They don't want to sell it. And the people of Greenland, the 55,000 some odd people, don't want to be American. They don't want to be owned by America. So we got Greenland. Now, let's understand about Greenland. Oh, yeah, it's important. Oh, yeah, there's plenty of minerals. Oh, yeah, the Russians and the Chinese are up in that general area. But we have an agreement with them that we've had since, I think, 1942 or 43 that lets us put all the military bases we want on Greenland. All we have to say is, hey, can we put a military base here? They'll go, yeah. And it's there. We already have a Space Force base. We've closed all of our other bases. But now we want to take over Greenland. We're now going to run Greenland. We're now going to run 50-some thousand people when they've already said to us, come on in. Just ask. We'll work with you. We're glad to work with you. It's not even an issue. Then Miller, the lunatic, goes on TV and says it's all might, it's all power, and, Greenland can't stop us. Wait a second. Denmark is a NATO country, isn't it? Let's go to just an American citizen. Joe's going to start shaking his head because he's heard this for years. We have on Just American Citizen the end of the American century. And in that, years of videos on that. And I said, this is what's going to happen. We're going to have our spheres of influence. It's going to be 1984 with this, but we're going to get rid of Europe because that's part of Russia's sphere of influence. And we're not going to care about it. And that's what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. So they'll sit there and go, why not just be nice then? If they're our allies, we don't have allies anymore, Joe. We don't have friends. Nobody trusts us. Why should they trust us? There's no way. We've got a guy who's 80 years old, almost 80 years old, a bit losing it at the top, if not totally losing it, pumping aspirin into him, enough aspirin where it can lead to a brain bleed. I've read about all that stuff, 300 some odd milligrams. No doctors tell him to take that. But he's a doctor, and we sit there, and now in Greenland, we have to prove how tough we are, so we're going to go in and take it over. And then little Marco says, we're going to buy it. And these people go, you ain't buying me. You ain't buying me. You think little Marco would want to be bought? You think Trump would want to be bought? No, it's all economics. That's why when you listen to him in Venezuela, and you go, oh, yeah, it may work. Oh, yeah, like it worked in Iraq. Like it worked in Libya, like it worked in Vietnam, like it always works, right? What we have here is a different situation where we have people who are supposedly our friends and we don't care, gone. Colombia, he's after Colombia down there in our sphere of influence. The president, he's up for re-election. No, he can't run for re-election this year. So what does he mouth at him for? He's out of office. The guy ain't running for president. He can't. He can't unless he's going to decide to take over the country, which hasn't happened. They have real elections in Colombia. We have real military ties with them, Joe. Real military ties. What are we going after them for? Let the guy mouth off all he wants. Good talking to you. And then Trump will do what he normally does. He'll back somebody down there, say we'll give you a lot of money, and hope he wins the election. That's what he did in Honduras when he let out cocaine wine. The same type of situation. So the guy from Colombia is just mouthing. Ignore him, but he can't. He can't ignore anybody because he's got hubris. He thinks, that's our word. He thinks that he's the man. Look, I keep coming to this. It's Devo. It's Devolution, the greatest album, one of the greatest, most forced album that saw the future. We're little snails with little tails. We're back to the 1800s. Somebody said the other day, oh, he's like Teddy Roosevelt. Trump's like Theodore Roosevelt, President Roosevelt. Really? Was he in the Rough Riders? Did he cruise around and shoot? Did he go out into areas to fight? Did he do anything for the country? He had five exemptions because he had bone spurs that seemed to have moved up north into his brain for the last 5-10 years, running around. But he's done nothing, absolutely nothing for this country militarily. But he sure is an expert because he's an expert at getting out and letting his daddy, it appears, pay off the doctor so he could get his exemptions. But Colombia, who cares about Colombia? They're going Cuba. That's what little Marco wants. And that's what Trump wants. You ever heard of the Bay of Pigs? Look, Castro was a lot. That was back during Kennedy. Castro, and we got handled there. And it just had no plan. It was dumb. It was a dumb JFK move. John F. Kennedy, by the way, because we keep getting told we have to give more background when we talk because we can't assume people know this stuff. So Cuba, people don't like Cuba there. The Cuban people there, you see those old cars, they got them for the 1950s. Medicine is not good like they say it is. Food's horrible. They have no electricity. They've got no nothing. What are we going to do when we move in there to take them out? Okay, I'm waiting. Iran. He's going to kill everybody in Iran if they don't stop killing the people.
We've done that experiment.
Well, he's going to do it again because now the people are out there pissed for good reason. They have no water in Iran. The Ayatollah is such a dummy. Some old guy. He's like Trump. They should sit and have a good time and have a beer at a restaurant or something because they're just two old guys who are lost. But the Ayatollah is more lost than Trump because Trump's got power. Ayatollah's got no real power. But he's sitting there having people killed, taking them out. Of course, we don't kill people here in America, do we? Joe, I mean, ICE wouldn't kill an American. That wouldn't happen. Oh, we'll look into that later, Joe. They wouldn't kill anybody in Minnesota, not in America. Oh, sorry, maybe I'm wrong. Let's stick with Iran. So Trump's going to kill somebody in Iran if they don't stop killing. So what are we going to do? We're going to just start dropping more bombs there. So look at this. Here we go. We got a whole deal, and we got it all worked out in Venezuela. We got Greenland we're going to take over. We got Colombia we're going to take over. We got Cuba we're going to take over. We got Iran where we're going to kill everybody. And I come back to the question, is Trump okay? Is America okay? Joe lots of times talks about the morals of this country. I've told Joe, it's my opinion, that our morals have been blown out, thrown out the door for a long time. I'm trying to be real studious here, Joe. I'm not getting crazy. How we've been thrown out for a long time. Well, the morals are gone. There are no morals. And I think Joe's got to look at this and one day say to all of us here, Mark, you're right. It's what it should be, but it isn't. So let me ask you this. While all this is going on, Joe, what's he doing about high prices here in America? He has been cutting back on his tariffs. You know that, right? When people aren't looking, he takes the tariff money, pays off people who are getting bummed. He just took off the tariffs or a major part of the tariffs on furniture. He's taking it off on all this. Nobody hears about all that. How's he getting prices down there? Have you seen copper hit all-time highs? Silver's hitting all-time highs. You don't think copper is in every house, is in almost everything we build? You don't think that's going to cut into inflation? I mean, and just add to it and rock and roll as he puts a new guy into the Fed who's going to push down interest rates and have even more inflation as it keeps going. Where has he been? Where is he? What is he doing to help people? How about with health insurance? I don't see any help with anybody helping Americans with health insurance. All I hear are these Republicans babbling what he's saying. We're going to send money to people, and those people are going to then be able to negotiate with the insurance companies. Yeah, right. You can negotiate with the insurance company. I can negotiate with the insurance company. Either way, the insurance company's still doing it. They still base it on risk, and they still put their profit on top of it, and they work the regs with the government So it's going to work out the same way. Meanwhile, people don't have the money, so they're not going to get their health insurance. I told you about the lines for Hungry that we had here in Baltimore, where the people up at 1 o'clock, they ran out of food for everybody. And all these people in the line, like another quarter mile, are sitting there going, where are we going to get food? And they're all trying to find a place to go to drive, because SNAP, you have to refill out everything there. So, well, and then on top of that, Epstein, where we find out only 1% of the documents have been sent out. When Bondi had the whole list, remember, it was all on her desk. It was all there ready to go. We've only put out 1%, which makes it so obvious the cover up this guy's got going on as all this happens. But I really think we have a problem with this man. And I'm very worried. Okay, is Trump okay? Is America okay? Today, the emperor sent down more lightning bolts from heaven because he's in heaven making decisions. He decided today to listen to us. For years, been yelling, let's stop the corporations from buying all the homes, because it was taking it off the market. Single family homes were taking them off the market so they can rent them, and people couldn't buy them. You can't compete with those guys. They come in and buy 20, 30, and you can buy one, you have a problem. But where's the plan there, Joe? Let me ask you something. You got building companies that are all set up, construction companies, to put out lots of these homes so that the corporations can buy it and everybody else can buy it. Well, if the corporations are buying it, you don't think that's going to have a major effect on the building companies? Now, I think there has to be a major overhaul. I think, as you know, we've talked about all these things. I've yelled about housing for years, about what we have to do. This was a major one. But where is the plan? Because now all of a sudden you're going to have companies like Ryland or whatever. What are they going to do? Suddenly now, who are they going to sell it to? If they build an area and they have 20 homes and they only sell 5 of them and they can't sell the other 15, what are they going to do? They're stuck with them, so only build 5 homes. So then you're going to have people coming in. Where are you going to buy the homes? Right now there's plenty of used, I call them used homes out there. But what are you going to do when you want to have a new home? It's going to be very hard. It's got to be done. There's got to be an overhaul of housing. But where's the plan? There's no plan. But no, a bolt from heaven, and he's got more stuff coming in 2 weeks. How about earlier today when he said, I don't care about stocks. Now, my friend Joe may care about stocks, and we hear things every now and then come out of his mouth about the stock market. But today, Trump says, bolt from heaven from the emperor, little Napoleon, boom! Defense stocks can't have dividends and can't buy back stock until they get better at building weapons. Look, he may be right, but where's the plan behind all that? How are they going to get better? How are they going to make sure it's there? What's the contracting deal? What's all this kind of stuff? We have a guy who is on top of the world with incredible hubris, who's just saying what he wants to say when ideas come to mind, and he's just pushing it. And if people don't see that the emperor is running around, and he still has his clothes on, unfortunately, the emperor is still running around doing this. And then in Minnesota, what happens? Oh, some American citizen tried to run over an ICE agent in mask. No. Have you looked at the tape? Of course, people are going to disagree on it because they always disagree. But you have Kristi Noem saying the person tried to run over the ICE agent. That's not what the video shows. It doesn't show it at all. The car was there trying to stop him. 2 agents went up. If the tape is right online, 2 agents went up. They went to open the door. He backed up, went to put it in drive, and another agent shoots him in the head, shoots her in the head in the car. Great. Now we have thugs. I've been telling you, they're thugs, these ICE agents. They're no more than thugs. That's what they are, because they wear a mask. If you wear a mask, you're a thug. Okay? It's really simple. And now they're shooting Americans. Now they're killing Americans. How long ago did I tell you this would be happening? They don't care. It's another American. Hey, they kill them. They were in the way.
So was the victim American citizen?
Yeah.
Oh,
I believe so.
Yikes.
I believe so. I'll look it up while you take it over from here. What do you think about ICE killing people, Joe?
I mean, when you heard the story and you heard the report from the government that here's somebody who's trying to run over police or ICE agents, you can understand why an ICE agent might want to defend themselves. So if that story was true, then the response makes more sense. But if it's true, and the video suggests that what's really true is that the woman had no intention of running over ICE agents. She was looks like she was trying to block traffic and protest, and the ICE agent just went up and shot her in the head. And then she was driving off and passed out, and her car hit a pole. So, I mean, if that's the case, then somebody has to be held accountable. That's not what we do in this country. That's not who we are. Now, I look at comments online and I see people saying, well, in Minnesota, there's all this corruption and, Omar and this and that. And as if it's justified to kill a fellow human being, fellow American citizen. And it's just not right.
They're not saying, I haven't determined yet, Joe. I'm still looking. I haven't determined if it's an American citizen.
Well, still, it's a fellow human being.
Sure it is.
And that's not what this country is. And you say the morality is gone in this country. And, it makes me wonder a little bit. But I still think fundamentally most Americans do have a moral basis and don't believe in killing people because they're protesting and don't like what's happening. And they don't want to have an emperor. They want to have a democracy in this country of three branches of government, which are co-equal and holding each other accountable. And we just don't have that right now. We just don't have that.
We got a Congress that's just asleep at the wheel and has been for years. We have a supine court who does nothing.
Yeah.
Except do whatever Trump wants. I think something's coming out with tariffs today, this week. Maybe there'll be some opinion that'll say part of the tariff isn't good. The other part is, and then the emperor will sit there with another lightning bolt from heaven and throw it down and say, I got another way to do tariffs. It won't matter. They'll come up with it. Birthright's still the big issue, Joe. I keep coming to that. I'm yelling about it. That's going to be the big issue. Let me read this to you. They said acting in self-defense. Who are you kidding? Let me tell you, this is what they say. One of these violent rioters weaponized her vehicle, attempted to run over our law enforcement, attempt to kill them, an act of domestic terrorism. An ICE officer, fearing for his life, the lives of his fellow law enforcement officers, fired defensive shots. No, he didn't. All he had to do was let her go. She would have been gone. They would have driven away. They would have had the license number.
If the video accurately reflects what happened, there has to be consequences for that.
There'll be no consequences. They'll say, hey, it was okay. They did the right thing. That's what they'll say, Joe. Because you got people putting on masks who refuse to show their face, who are not trained well, who are brought on. We have a nationalized internal police that we talked about a year ago when they passed all this money for these guys, billions for these guys, to be able to just get bigger and just kill more people. Is it America? I don't know, but they just killed them. Why not? Just kill them. Don't back off and take a step back and let them leave. Take down the license number and then go after the person. That's too hard, isn't it? Gosh, there's snow on the ground. It's easier to take a gun and blow somebody up in the head. It's so much easier. The thugs, they are thugs, the ICE people. I'm calling ICE generally, that whole group. They are thugs. They wear masks. The only people worth wearing masks was the Lone Ranger and Zorro. Those are the only two people who should wear a mask. Nobody else. Do cops wear masks? No, because you can deal with the cops. You know who they are. You got ID. Not these guys. Boom, boom, we're going to kill you. Ball game over. It's horrible, Joe. From the sky, another lightning bolt. Let's just kill people. We're in America. It doesn't matter. We'll kill them in Venezuela. Look, as we said about Maduro, he's dirt. Please look at our August 2017 Just an American Citizen videos, 2 of them. He's dirt. No question about it. Nobody did anything before about it. When I was yelling about it, there was nothing happening. There was no indictment. There was people were buying at city service gasoline. So I'm sitting there going, I called for a boycott. So I'm sitting there going, hey, I understand, but what are we doing? So we'll make a deal with them and keep the Chavistas in there, because that's what we have to do to be able to have all that oil that's probably going to line the pockets of all the guys who put hundreds of millions into Trump. It's going to line their pockets. You know it is. You know where this cash is going. Oh, Chevron must be psyched. Exxon must be psyched. They're all going to be psyched. We got a real problem. And nobody seems to care. They're going like it's normal. Like the president can just say and do whatever he wants to do, and nobody's going to do anything about it. Absolutely nothing.
I think some of Trump's supporters will say that all this has been happening throughout American history. It's just that Trump speaks the silent parts out loud, that we went into those other countries, Iran, Iraq, for the oil as well. And we talked about trying to bring democracy to those countries, or we had some moral justification.
We didn't go into Iran. We went into Iraq. We had the Iran when we had the Shah. That was back in the 50s, I think, or something.
Right. We went into Iraq to protect another country, and then to get rid of a bad guy in there, Saddam Hussein, and it had nothing to do with oil. It had to do with geopolitical stability.
Well, they had nuclear weapons, Joe. Hey,
we had
exactly. They had nuclear weapons. Even Colin Powell knew that, right? And then he said, "Hey,"
told the UN.
And isn't he the one who says that when you go in, you own it? You own it.
You break it, you own it. Yeah.
So we're sitting here going, well, no, we're really not taking over Venezuela, but we're taking over Venezuela. But we're not taking over Venezuela. So we really don't own it. So we'll just keep an armada around it and leave Europe and threaten Europe and leave people who used to be our friends to live at the mercies of Putin. Look, I've heard these guys, these MAGAs and these Republicans, I'm reading the Journal like crazy, listening to Fox, and they're all going, this doesn't encourage Putin. He would do it anyhow. This doesn't encourage Z. He would do it anyhow. That's not true. America was the hegemon. People weren't fooling with us that way. We were dealing with Taiwan. Z wasn't going to make a move because we were working with Taiwan. Though Joe and I disagree, I don't think we should go to the defense of Taiwan. Joe does, but we get handled. We couldn't do it. We don't even have enough ships over there. We should be protecting Philippines. We should be protecting our friends, the Japanese, the Australians, which we're not doing. That's the dumb bro doctrine, which Trump runs. So it encourages. It's not like Putin really went that far, but it's just now encouraging Putin to do whatever he wants to do. They're sitting there going, wow, Kushner and what's his name, the other guy who has all the hundreds of millions, who's this big negotiator, are in there, and they're working out a security agreement for Ukraine. Meanwhile, people are dying every day over there because Putin is just dumping missiles on them, dumping everything on them, and Trump doesn't care. He blames Ukraine because it's Ukraine's fault, because they shouldn't be smaller, because that's part of Putin's. We're Oceania. I don't remember the other two names, Joe, for in 1984. I don't know if you remember the other countries. No. But that's his sphere of influence, and then Z has his sphere of influence, and we're going to have a real problem. And this is what happens. People don't know history. In World War I, there were spheres of influence before World War I. Kaboom! In Serbia or wherever it was, the guy came down, shot the person, killed the Archduke. Boom, we had a war because you had different groups that worked together. One went to war, all their friends came, and that was World War I. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's what it was. Devo, that's where we're going. We have that one. Nobody's looking at history. Yeah, it just leads to major. How about World War II? You had the Axis, right? You had Japan, you had Italy, and you had Germany. You had the Axis. The group came together. They did what they wanted to do. We had to fight the Axis. This is what's going on right now. It's just you have world wars, and then what happens is people remember, they put together international agreements or some type of agreements for people who remember all the horror of the killing, of the destruction of all the people who died. Then those people die off, and you get these others who come in with the dumb bro doctrine, who don't remember what it was like to have that kind of destruction and that kind of death and that kind of killing. Okay, never. And now people don't remember because they don't know history, and we're going back to the same way. Trump won't be president. We'll have a war. We're going to be involved with somebody. It's going to be nasty and it's going to be bad. And it's not going to be good. Whether it's small wars and little things like we had with the domino theory. Remember that? In Vietnam, if Vietnam goes as a domino to Thailand, Cambodia, everybody's going to go remember all that stuff? Yeah. It just went to dictator, dictator, dictator. That's all it was. Very simple. We're in a bad situation, Joe. And I just don't think people see it. I'm sorry.
I thought you said at the beginning this was an entertaining show.
It is entertainment.
Political opinion and entertainment. So far, it's get everybody down.
History is entertainment.
Where's the entertainment part?
History is entertainment. That's
entertaining.
I find history. Devo, listen, are we not men? We are Devo. How about the Devo corporate anthem? Oh, God, do I love the Devo corporate anthem. So you sit there. It is entertaining, though. If you look at history, you go, I'm entertained because I love history and I know how we're really blowing this here. We really are. And now we're shooting people here in America and killing them. Just shooting them in the head. Shooting them in the head.
Our mosh pit is quiet. You've silenced them.
I think I silenced all of them. It's because what are they going to say? It's the reality. The MAGAs don't want to deal with us and talk to us about it because they know we're right. Why are we getting this involved all around the world? It just doesn't make sense.
I know. I think there's cracks in the MAGA coalition right now. I think there's a lot of people who look at this and say, this isn't what we voted for. This isn't what we want. But
they still love him because it's a cult. So they have to say, we love Trump. I'm on X all over the place. Please feel free to check me out, Just an American Citizen on X. I go after the guys. I really don't. I work on some of them that I agree with, but I focus on these guys, the people who are coming in and say, yeah, it's great. It's all like J6. Like the J6 rioters were innocent people. Like Trump won the election. Like there was a conspiracy. Oh, yeah. And the moon is made out of green cheese. I believe that. Not only that, Joe, let's take it a step further. This administration is now saying cook with butter and drink whole milk. Wow, just clog up your veins. Just clog them up. Isn't that great?
Yeah, they got rid of half the vaccines.
Oh,
measles is coming back. All that is.
And you know what's
all
great?
That is. You're right, Devo. We're going backwards.
Total Devo. And you know what's great about it? They go, these are international norms we're following. Since when do we follow international norms? All of a sudden, Donald Trump's following international norms. And it's really only Denmark or Switzerland or some we're following. And they're small. They're a little country.
They have no measles there.
What?
They don't have any measles there.
Yeah, there's no measles. There's nothing. What are there? How many people are there? There's only enough people to have it. And remember, it's freezing. So I suppose you kill all of
the citizens there are smart and get the vaccines without the government telling them that they have.
That's right, and they have full prenatal
free health care.
We couldn't. It's different for us, but they have full prenatal back. I believe it's in Denmark, wherever it is they're talking about, so that when women get pregnant, they can go in and they really work with them to make sure that they're healthy. So when they come out, they don't have AIDS issues. So you have to give them whatever the shot is for that. Or they don't have some of this other stuff. That's what they do because they focus on it up front. They're proactive. That's called having a plan. Gosh, a plan. Isn't that horrible having a plan? Is Trump okay? Is America okay? You listen to Trump, he's like lost. He ain't lost.
He's clearly not okay. I mean, I don't want to make a diagnosis, but
you're not making a diagnosis.
You can see that he's not right anymore. His speech is he just focuses on the same thing over and over again. And
power.
Yeah,
let me tell
you. He's losing it. He's just absolutely losing it.
CDU, let me tell you, Joe's schnoz is almost as big as mine. And I can tell you this, both of our schnozzes smell everything. And we know
something doesn't smell right. That's true.
That's right. Something doesn't smell right, and we both smell it. Okay, so you're right about that. What?
Hopefully we can hang in there to the midterms and get some Democrats in there. But between now and then, what can we do? Just ride it out.
You always ask that question. We show up every Wednesday and Sunday here. We like last week we had 32,000 people. It's crazy. It just kind of comes and goes the way it works. But we just have to keep coming in. You have to keep calling it out. I'm all over X. You got to keep doing your Substack. We just got to keep working this stuff so people hear it, not just us and others. You got to call people out. You got to say what it is, because I'm becoming more convinced that a lot of these cultists are really starting to wonder themselves what is going on, because there's just so much. It's just, and
that's why I like to engage people in here so that we can get a sense of where they're coming from and talk to them.
Well, we've been getting that, and then we had the last mosh pit checked out by somebody who said it was all craziness in there. So you just never know what you're going to get. We just like to put out there and say what we believe, make it entertaining. I think it's entertaining, especially to listen to music. I mean, if I sang, it wouldn't be entertaining, but it's entertaining nevertheless. But you sit here and you go, what's going on? So you have this problem. America has no allies. We have no friends. Nobody can trust us. We're getting to a point where we can't trust ourselves because the president is splitting us up. His ICE people are out there just killing people. And it's just horrible. It's just absolutely horrible what's going on out there.
Yeah.
And now that we're just having it. And I'm waiting for those morals, Joe. I'm waiting for those morals that you talk about that's so embedded in Americans for them to stand up.
Is that what it's all about? The people who are racist, the people who hate minorities, the people who hate people who have mental deficiencies, the people who hate freedom, democracy. Is that what Trump appeals to? And when they saw him, they saw somebody that they could identify with.
Power. Because he unleashed this Pandora's box. People know what Pandora's box is. Please feel free to Google it in the AI. It's where all the bad stuff comes out. These people were never out there with any kind of real power. They were nothing. They the John Birchers, the McCarthy.
Right. I mean, he gave permission to the Birchers to come out.
Right, and and McCarthyites, which are the young McCarthyites, basically. Joe McCarthy, by the way, kept saying communist during the 50s. People lost jobs, everything because of it. Then it went away after he got exposed. But this guy isn't going to get exposed. I think, though, he's so losing it. He's so out of it. He's just going to just kind of flow out to the side there.
He's losing it. That's for sure.
He's almost 80 years old. He's totally out of it.
Keep giving him mental status exam checks, and
I love
you only get that when somebody's worried about your mental status.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, once again, we'll come back to all that aspirin. Giving himself 60 milligrams of aspirin because he wants his blood to be thin. Meanwhile, that leads to bleeding on the brain. I said
it means he must have some sort of risk for stroke. Or
his doctors told him not to do it.
Oh, he's just doing it on his own?
It's like Kennedy says, drink whole milk and cook in butter, man. I love it. Just get those, just tighten it up. Tighten it up in there. Make it tight. Who wants a wide open area for blood to run through? You see, you got a president who says, I'm taking all this aspirin. And then you got a guy he has running our health saying, but that aspirin doesn't mean anything. We got to keep we got to keep your blood thin because we're going to narrow your arteries. We're going to have you use butter and whole milk and we'll narrow your arteries. And yes, Mr. President, that's why you need so much aspirin, because you need it to be so thin to go through those narrow arteries. Makes sense, Joe, doesn't it? It just kind of flows. No pun intended, but it is intended. But it just kind of flows from there. Republicans give them someone to blame for their problems. That's right. Good one.
I guess that's what it is. That people need somebody to blame.
They always need somebody because they can't blame themselves. That was all part of what I did at New Year's, remember? And we had nobody watching. And Joe thought it was my greatest one of all time. And I sit there and sometimes I said, you have to walk up and say, it's my fault. Sorry, I blew it.
Yeah.
Sorry. People can't do that. It's always somebody else's fault. It's never Trump's fault. It's never Vance's fault. And you got a Speaker of the House who's totally lost. But now I don't know what the Republicans are going to do. They have one guy who just died, a congressman out of California. He was called in on emergency surgery. He died. He just died. He had a beard. I don't remember his name. He was a rice farmer out of California. You have another one who's like 80, who was in a major car accident. You have Marjorie Taylor Greene, who left. their numbers are just really just kind of creeping down to virtually zero. And what they want to do is just write us a check and say, use that money and make a deal with Humana. They'll make a deal. Humana will make a deal. If I'll give you $2,000, Humana will make a deal with you. And keep this in mind, too. You keep hearing from Trump how much money he's saving everybody. You know, Joe, at least for Medicare, there's only like a $2,000 maximum or $2,100 maximum for Part D, which is medicine. So that's the most you're going to pay all year. That's the top. So, okay, great. What a deal. You already have the deal. And he's passing it on to others. You're telling me these companies ain't making money? They know what they're doing. They go, yeah, they already made their money and they can pump this stuff out there and everybody's happy. Joe, I'm telling you, this is entertainment, isn't it? This is entertainment. Huh?
Are you entertained yet?
I'm totally entertained. I wish everybody else was entertained. It's like a sad situation. They don't want to be entertained because they want to just believe that which is not true. When I read on X, all these people are saying J6 was real and there's lies and all this stuff's coming out. And I put answers on there. I can't walk away from it, Joe. I put answers on there. We'll see, Spartacus. That'll be later. But I think already 25 have left or have announced they're leaving. I think Spartacus, they said that. And then you just had the one who just died. And another one is in the hospital. And
so
this is the best
margin
one.
Now? About 4 seats?
Like it'll be like 2.
Two seats.
I think it's going to be like 2 now.
Can't we get a defector or 2?
Well, they're going to try to with some of the stuff. We'll see. Who knows? It makes it tough. There'll be a couple defectors. They're going to force some votes on the health insurance. They've got to. But this was going to happen. People are just going to watch these guys get out there. You ever watch Jim Jordan? And he's just like that all the time. And he's sitting there. He's going, yeah, and we have to overhaul Obamacare and ACA. And I go, where were you the last 15 years, Hoss? Where were you? You're all complaining about it. You made it worse because the Republicans, by fighting ACA, instead of trying to make it better all these years, have only made it worse. Okay, it is too expensive. There are issues.
I was talking to someone who cannot get health insurance.
Right.
She literally cannot get health insurance.
Well, she just can't afford it, correct?
Well, there's underwriters look at her history and they say that she has an underlying condition or whatever, and she can't get it. Obamacare and they would bypass that.
Right.
But if you just try and get it on your own now, the insurance underwriters won't give it to you.
Come on, Joe. If Trump sends you $2,000, you can't get the insurance underwriters to give you health insurance. You know better than that.
Not for $2,000. No.
Joe, come on, $2,000, $3,000. You know they'll work with you. You just say, "I got money. I'll write you a check for $3,000."
That'll pay for half a month there.
I'm sure it's going to say a Trump check. It'll say, "I'm Donald Trump." What are they going to do with it? Maybe they'll use it to get some food because they can't afford the food or they don't have the job to be able to make it happen. There were some more private jobs that came up in Christmas, like 40,000. We'll see how long that lasts. Meanwhile, Maryland's getting smashed with jobs. Just lost another 10,000 jobs. So you just see all this coming down. Where are you going to get the money? Where are you going to be able to get the food? Where are you going to get the health insurance? And it's just slowly building up. And then inflation is going to smash because copper is everywhere. What don't you use for copper? Whenever you build, it's all copper. Silver they use.
It's an excellent conductor, so they use it in all these chips and stuff. So.
Sure, they use it in homes. They use it everywhere. Where are you not? So if it's at all-time highs, that's not going to come into the economy? Of course it is. And then when he puts his lackey in there to reduce interest rates, even if it's not necessary, if the market's doing great, that's only going to encourage it even worse. Meanwhile, as he throws the bolts from heaven, he says, and all you rich housing guys, you can't buy any more single-family homes. And we go, yay. What's your plan, Mr. President? We're with you. Joe and I are with you. And silence. Silence. There's no plan. Now, he says in 2 more weeks, when he's speaking at Davos or whatever, he'll have his plan. It's always 2 weeks, right? Wasn't it 2 weeks with Russia and Ukraine? Wasn't it 2 weeks with the ACA over like 20 years, like over like 10 years? It's always been that way. That's where we are. That's
He's
what
not strong on plans, that's for sure.
I'm sorry?
Trump is not strong on plans.
How could you say that, Joe? How could you say that? Come on, Joe.
He tends to just want to win the next news cycle. That's as far as his plan
That's
goes.
a plan. It's farther than that. It's called cash. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Because you can believe that no matter what he does, either he's making sure his friends get the money so they can back him and make sure they pump hundreds of millions behind them, or his family and friends make zillions so he becomes a zillionaire when he leaves. This is what I'm thinking, okay? You know that what was it, the gutter plane that was given to Trump? The big, big beautiful plane.
Yeah.
That's what this oil's for.
What's that?
That's what this oil's for. I'm convinced. Trump's going to build his own storage tanks, okay? And it's going to have all the oil in there so that when he's no longer president, he's got this big, beautiful plane.
He needs to tank up his jet.
Yeah, that we paid for, and he'll have all the oil he needs. It's just rocking. And you know what's really sick about this, just dumb, is not only do we not need the oil, but China is moving forward with solar energy so far past us. We've got no knowledge about what's going on. They're not going to need oil after a while. As years go on and the batteries come, I've been yelling about batteries. Go into Just American Citizen. I was yelling about this 10 years ago. People were laughing at me. We needed a Manhattan Project. We did nothing. So we're going to sit there. The sun rules the world. S-U-N. The sun, not the sun, S-O-N. The sun, S-U-N, rules the world. And if the sun rules the world, why aren't we tapping into its energy and making sure we have the batteries to do it? But why? Maybe there's other ways of doing it rather than these special minerals that we have to get from everybody because we're so far behind. We have no plans. We have no knowledge. We are so far back. Are we not, men? We are, Devo. It's just so far back, it doesn't matter. We're just back. Teddy Roosevelt got shot when he spoke at a speech, and he talked for an hour with the bullet in him. Did you know that? In the cold. That guy's tough, okay? Trump, what's he doing? He's doing nothing. He thinks he's Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt, we said it before, I'm just repeating it again. We went forward, and he fought for the country. Did Trump? No. Is Trump okay? Is America okay? My answer is no, and we're in trouble. When we're killing people.
I hear you.
When guys who are supposed to be representatives of the law are just killing people. You want your reparations? Mark, he's got to be laughing. He's got to be joking, Mark. I don't care about solar panels. I want my reparations. What reparations you want? Hey, Todd, what you doing? We're the big Republicans. Next time a Democrat, we can go back to doing other things stupid with the money. Hey, you know our position, Todd. We don't care Republican or Democrat. We've been tearing into the Congress for years. We kept saying, don't pay them. They're out sunning themselves. You are 100% correct, Todd. Doesn't matter. And Mark, you really should, because solar panels are the answer. You call it solar panels, call them what you want to do. They're real. To be able to absorb that energy and use it in your hands, to have control of solar power. Talk about what you could do in defense. Talk about what you could do in offense. Talk about what you could do to help people. Talk what you could do to help people grow. Talk about how you can help your country. That kind of stuff works. Joe just says he's been hearing me talk about it for years. I used to have an old license plate for solar. I just loved it. I just a believer in it. And we're after oil. What do we need oil for? I keep coming back to it because that's Venezuela. We're taking their oil. Thank you, Mark. Deport Trump to Israel. Paul, why not? The problem is they'll destroy Israel even worse then. You'll have BBN, you'll have Trump. Oh, my God. Man, will we be in trouble then? We have to deal two loons together. Oh, man, we wouldn't know what to do then, Joe. Todd, 400 years of slavery, sure, buddy. You all keep dreaming there. I don't understand. There's a lot of Mark and chat. Look, Todd, there was slavery. Of course there was. But black people picked up blacks and sold them to the white people. Okay? Come on. 400 years of slavery. There's still slavery. It's still going on. It's against the law and it's still going on. You got it in Asia. You got it where people are bringing in people, hiding this people in the basement and making them work like slaves. You've got that kind of stuff coming in. It's real. There's no question. Slavery is something. I don't know how people can ever consider a person a commodity. It makes so. You see how he's working that hair? I want to note something to you about Joe. He works that hair. I'm saying, where are you, Joe? Where are you? I'm getting my hair fixed. I'm going, you getting your hair fixed? What are you doing? He's got Vaseline. A little dab will do you. For those of you looking up in Google one day. Remember? No, it was Brill Cream. Brill Cream, a little dab will do you. Put it in, you put it back. And it was all greasy. And you could see somebody's face off your head. But that's where we are. Thank you, Todd. But there we are with all this. It's just very tough. It's just very tough. I'm very worried, Joe. And I just think we got a problem. And I think it's getting worse. And we were the hegemon. We were the greatest country in the world. I still think we are. But gosh, we have a president who is totally lost and a group of people who back him and don't care about reality or the truth. Okay? It's just very, very exact. Mark, let me tell you, talk 2 examples of white privilege. No. Sorry, Mark. It's examples of people who have money have privilege. You can be black and be privileged. You can be gray and be privileged. You can be green and be privileged. You can be yellow and be privileged. You can be purple and be privileged. Unfortunately, we weren't, but Harbaugh's gone. As much as I like him as a coach for the Ravens, he was a great coach. It was time to go, Joe.
It was.
So you can be right. So you can be purple and be privileged. It doesn't matter. You're there. So whoever the new coach is going to be privileged because he's going to wear purple and black, and we're all going to love him. And we all hope Harbaugh does great wherever he goes. If he goes to New York, you guys are going to have a problem, Joe, because he's going to take out the Eagles.
He's going to Miami.
Yeah, I'm here in New York.
Miami.
I'm here in New York. You better
But
hope.
is Lamar going to stay? That's the question.
He's staying. That's it. So of course Lamar's staying. The ships the slave came to America all had Jewish names. So they did, Paul. How do you know that? How do you know they had Jewish names? How many Jews do you think there are in the world, Paul? I think there's like 15 million Jews in the world. I mean, it's really simple. Okay.
Here's the entertaining part of the show.
This really is. I mean, come on. Try being a black man for a day. I can only be me for a day. What do you want me to do? I've been me for so many years. I'm having problems. I look in the mirror and I go, I sure ain't getting any better looking. So we just got to deal with all that kind of stuff. And he broke free and started the largest slave raid on Spartacus.
I love Spartacus.
Spartacus is doing it. Google it. Put it in. Go, Paul. So the bottom line is, Joe, we got a problem. It's well beyond white privilege. It's well beyond green privilege. It's well beyond who knows privilege. Because the problem is we got one man running this country like an emperor with his dumb bro doctrine. All remember this play, please. The dumb bro doctrine. He was talking about the Monroe Doctrine, which was James Monroe. He doesn't know James Monroe's first name, which was James Monroe. Trump doesn't know his first name. He was president and signed the Constitution. And then he then calls it the Dun Row because he puts his name in front, but it's really the dumb bro or the Dumbo doctrine. So let's remember all this, okay? He's the emperor. Thank you. The new Napoleon. But what happens to Napoleon? He loses. We'll see. And one more issue, Joe. Did you hear when he was talking to the Republicans yesterday? Man, if we don't win, I'm going to be impeached. Look.
Hopefully.
Did you hear him say, if we don't win, the people aren't going to be able to get food? Did you hear him say, if we don't win, we can't overhaul insurance? Did you hear him say, if we don't win, America gets hurt? No. I may be impeached. I'll tell you this, with this. The guy who's got to watch out his head, Seth, I've been telling you that. He's going to be the first one everybody goes after because talk about a dirtball, an absolute dirtball. He can't even do pull-ups. Okay? It's just that simple. So there we are. The Dumbo doctrine. Go for it, Paul. Joe likes it better. The dumb bros, B-R-O-S. He likes the dumb bros doctrine, but I like the Dumbo doctrine. I think it just comes right down and it just happened. We're there. So we don't have, come on, racist. Come on. Everybody call it being racist, bigot. I mean, come on. Let's stop, guys. It just doesn't work. We are allowing a guy at the top to split us up and we're yelling at each other, we can't. We have to stay together so we can do what it takes to make this country better and be able to help everybody. That's where we are. Joe, what else you got to say?
I don't know. It's really discouraging sometimes. And it's not even Trump that I'm upset about. He is who he is. It's that there's no guardrails being put up, that there's no checks and balances, that people within his party aren't saying anything. It's how he can get away with this. And that's what's a little bit discouraging to me, because I do believe that fundamentally we're a country of goodwill, and it seems like it's hard for people to stand up and hold the guy accountable. That's the problem.
How about, did you see Paul's latest latest message in there? I love it. I'm not going to say it. But I love it. Paul, very good, Paul. But we're not going to say it. We don't encourage stuff we don't encourage putting it out there. But I say right on. MAGA King forever. You guys, Jim, he's the king. He's an emperor. And it's not good for us. And it's really hurting us. F you. Come on. We don't know. Where's that come from? I don't know what anybody said. It's all white people. I just think Mark's jive. So we just, I'm not going to listen to these guys. So you just sit there, at least those who are just out there. So, Joe, I'll tell you this. I think people have to watch and see what's going on. We had a killing today. We've got a guy just sending lightning bolts from heaven. And we have a supine court that's going to roll over to him. And the economy, as the inflation keeps going up, because it ain't going down, as it keeps going up, it's going to get worse. And we're going to have people just yelling at each other because people are not getting or not coming together to say, we have to work as one. We have to be one America. We have to start coming back together instead of splitting. Okay. And if we have people who want to split us up, I can only say I have to assume you're a Trumper, whether you're right wing or left wing. If you want to split us up, you're a Trumper, because Donald Trump's focus, he is the great disuniter. I've had this thumbnail I've been wanting to use for a while, Joe. I haven't used it. I'm going to use it one day with him as the great disuniter as we go into it on another day with that. Joe, we are Devo, Joe. We are devolution, going backwards. Not smart, being dumb, doing all, and get on this. Todd, you're right. I agree. The idea is to quit with this and say, me, I care about all of us. Us. Not you. You're the problem. You're the problem. I'm the victim. It's we. We come together. Bring those fingers in, hold them, and pull it in. And pull it in and go, hey, go Ravens. We need a new coach. It's going to be good. And I say go O's. And what happened to the Eagles last week? Oh, wow. But it didn't matter. So you watch this and you go, okay, we're ready to go. That's where the entertainment comes in. We jump into this. We get a little music. We do this. We do that. Pink Floyd's horrible, so I don't even talk about that anymore. And we're just rocking. I haven't seen anybody die in the rockers recently, anybody big, but gosh, it's getting late in the years. I see the pictures of these guys, Joe. They look so big and old. Oh, God. They look worse than you and I do. And we look pretty bad. So you just sit there.
No, we look good. We look good.
You look good. Look at this mug.
Oh, you look great. You're in great shape. Absolutely.
It's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. Either way, we're rolling. We're back Sunday. We hope to get our 32,000 then. That was crazy. We're on top of whatever's happening. We're here. We appreciate everything you're all doing. Hey, the king is in the counting house, laughing and stumbling. His armies are extended well beyond the shores as we send our lovely boys to die in the foreign wars. It's going to happen. The music just comes right on. It just flows. I remember from the songs. It just flows right out. These people don't know the music, Joe. They're gone and know it. How about the Cult of Personality? Listen to the Cult of Personality if you want to go for it. That was, gosh, it'll come to me. The group was great. I have the album, and it's really good. And it's just, I'm like so bummed. As soon as I hang up, I'll remember the name of it. But come on, what was the TV show Jim Carrey was on, Joe? Cult of Personality was almost the same name of the group. Come on, I'm having a problem here, Joe. Help me, Joe. Somebody help me. Hey, is that hey there? The actually are going to be setting a traffic stage. They sure are. That's what I said. The king is in the counting house, laughing and stumbling. His armies are extended well beyond the shores. I love that. What a great song. Earth Opera. Look it up. Great song, great album. It just rocks. Okay, but Cult of Personality. The Cult of Personality. Come on, Joe. Who is it? Joe, I'm so mad. Say one thing, Joe. While I'm looking it up quickly before we go.
Oh, in Living Color. That was
Living Color.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Who said it? Independent. Thank you.
We had Mark say it, so Mark gets it. Yeah.
Good. Thank you, Mark. Let me tell you. Thank you, Mark, and thank you, Indy. Independent. Let me tell you something. The album was great. The group was great, and the TV show was great. In Living Color, I still watch it sometimes. It comes up. It is hilarious. Just some great stuff. And of course, the Cult of Personality. What we need to feel is
you're right. It's Living Colors. Cult of Personality, released 1988.
CM Punk. I'm there. I understand it. I'm more of a Pretenders fan. But we have that. What a great group. They helped us with the music. Thank you so very much. That's the entertainment, Joe. You get people, they love music. How can you not love music? Doesn't matter. Our stuff, as we die off, it's going to go down the numbers on Sirius XM and all that kind of stuff. But if people listen to it, when you hear a group of people come together and they're all thinking together, one's playing a guitar, and one's playing a bass, and one's playing the drums, and one's one, well, you have horns, you got a keyboard, you got singers, they all come together. That's how people come together. They come together and put together music. They come together, and it's what we should be looking at. We need to put our music together for our country here. He is in the Village People, Paul. Come on, you ever see him doing his dance when he does it? The double as that's what you call.
Paul had something to say about that earlier.
Bill Maher calls, whatever it is. It's that he has a good one there. That's kind of like a headset thing. So we're there. See you Sunday. Thank you, Sparkus. Thank you, everybody who was on. We'll see you Sunday. We'll see you Sunday at 11 Eastern. Rock and roll, and that's the way it is.
Period.